And a court in London has ruled in favour of Venezuela's opposition leader, Juan Guaido, in an ongoing legal battle for control of gold reserves deposited with the Bank of England. The dispute began 2 years ago when President Nicolas Maduro requested access to nearly $2 billion worth of Venezuelan gold deposited with the bank. Mr. Guaido managed to block the move, arguing that Mr. Maduro would use the money to support what he described as an illegitimate and corrupt regime. A final decision is expected later this year. 4 spectators have been injured following an explosion inside the International Cricket Stadium in Kabul. The blast happened during a domestic league match, halting the game for a few minutes. No players or officials were hurt. This year's tournament, the 8th in its history, is the first since the Taliban seized power last year. Palestinian health officials say a 16-year-old boy has been shot dead by Israeli forces during clashes in the occupied West Bank. The Palestinian teenager died of chest wounds during the violence in an area close to the city of Ramallah, where hundreds of Palestinians had gathered to protest against the expansion of Israeli settlements. One of the settlers is reported to have been armed, so it's not yet clear if the shot came from them or Israeli soldiers. Washington's mayor calls for help from the National Guard as a protest sees thousands of migrants bust into the US Capitol.
Saying sorry again, Will Smith takes to social media to apologise to Chris Rock for that Oscars slap.
There is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment.
OK, so I know what you would do. What would you do if you were no longer constrained by your bank account? Well, one lucky US citizen may have to ask themselves that this weekend because of the Mega Millions lottery draw.
I wouldn't go wild and go on a mad spending spree, although I suspect I probably would slightly. It's one of the game's biggest ever jackpots. It's more than $1 billion, and it would make the prize winner richer than the likes of Madonna, Bono and Tom Cruise. We were talking about it an hour ago. I think I would set up some kind of... They did it in a TV programme, didn't they? They set up a foundation and gave the money away.
Yeah.
And there is someone doing that at the moment.
Don't need that much money.
You don't, do you? Be helpful, though.